Is that? Fine, so I get. That sounds like a motorcycle versus pickup or something. Didn't sound too good. They called out the drone.
Sam.
Okay. Okay, we're going live, folks. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Board of Fire Commissioners meeting. It is March 13th, 2025 on Thursday at 7:02 p.m. I'd like to start by a pledge of allegiance, please. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Moment of silence for all the fallen, please. Thank you.
Amen.
Amen. Attendance. Approval of prior meeting minutes for February 13th, 2025.
Make a motion, we approve the minutes from February 13th, 2025.
I will second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, moving along. Public participation for the first time. If anyone from the public would like to speak. Chief Trump, past Chief Trummer.
Annoyed. That's from the fire marshal's office. Wanting to know why we have 8 assistant fire marshals. Why do we need all those people? That's number one. Number two, I understand there's 3 cars assigned to fire marshal. Why do we need 3 cars? It's a big waste of money as far as I'm concerned. He doesn't use the car that often. I don't see him out going outside very often. It's all his deputies on the radio. And I want to know why.
Okay. Well, can we go through public participation and then give answers afterwards at the board? So is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. All right, Chief, we'll go through all public participation and we'll give you some answers after that.
Fine with me.
Okay, thank you. Anything else, Chief?
Right now, no.
Okay. Anybody else from the public like to speak? Yes. Just state your name, yeah.
2 items I want to speak of. First of all, I support the commissioners that are in favor of a paid fire chief for the town of Newington. I lived in Newington for over 35 years. I'm very much in support of it, and with all the rising buildings going up in Newington, which is calling for a lot more mandation of safety, I think it's the best thing this town can have and keep going in the direction that we're going. So I'm very much in favor of that.
Thank
2,
you.
I have a question on how I am to get paperwork that I've requested through the fire marshal's department. I have a business of 20 years, serving the town of Newington for 16. My business consists of proving safety protection for my residents of certain complexes. As far as I understand, it's mandated to have inspections done every year regarding safety issues with fire detectors, smoke detectors. I need a list for my records, for my residents' records, and also for our insurance. which I've asked for and requested, and I cannot get this. I don't know how about to go and get this. I've asked for it repeatedly. And looking in your 25 budget, it looks, there's a little footnote at the bottom that says 70% is what I understand have been inspected. I'd like to see that because in my own business areas, I'm not nearly that. And I have my residents that are concerned about the safety, if they're meeting the protocol that's called for. Also, if this was mandated, it's not being done. So I'd like to put it on the record that I'm requesting the reports of the safety inspections of my complexes. I will file a request by writing of the complexes that I need verification for, but I'd like it on record that this is not the first time I requested this.
Okay. Anything else
No.
for public participation? Okay. What I'll do is I'll close public participation and
Is there
then,
any other?
yeah, I'm gonna ask that and then we'll close it and then we can answer some questions. Is there any other public participation? Yes,
Along with Mr. Santini's suggestion of paid fire chief, as past fire chief in this town, I am well aware of the responsibilities that are put on to the fire chief. The way this town is growing and growing and growing, and all the paperwork that has to be done, all of this, all of that. I think it's our best interest that we push for that.
thank you, chief. Any other public participation? Nico?
Nicholas Carter. Just one comment on the paid fire chief. The town of Berlin has a paid fire administrator who's part-time. He works 25 hours a week as the fire administrator, also has the highway garage mechanic foreman. And he devotes his time to administer the ability between the town and the department. He is an operational chief now in the town of Berlin. His job title was changed in 2025, the end of 2024, to make him an operational fire chief for the town of Berlin Fire Departments. Rocky Hill has a part-time paid fire chief, but the fire chief is half part-time fire chief and half emergency management director, which subsidize a full-time career as a paid fire chief. I'd also like to note that the past chief, Chris Schroeder, of 15 years, was a paid fire chief. No matter what way you look at it, he was here every day, Monday through Friday, 8 to 4, and he was a paid fire chief. So, just some comments I want to put into that and put it on the record.
Thank you. And just also, Farmington, the same thing. They have a paid fire service administrator also,
He is full-time.
and he is full-time. That is correct. Yep, thank you. Any other public participation? Okay, so I'm gonna close public participation and if the commission would like to make some comments, I can start with Commissioner Stoddard if you want.
The commission's in favor of a paid fire chief, and we all have good reason for that. We have seen how much more work there is for a fire chief within any town in the area, so we're all in favor of that. As far as Chief Trommer goes, I don't know why they need so many fire officers or fire marshals within the fire department, and
My question to you is then, who's running the show?
we are looking into that, and we are working on putting together some boundaries for the fire marshal, not the fire marshal.
How did it get out of hand?
As I've discussed this with the other commissioners, and we really think that we have been kind of lulled into a process where the most important thing was getting inspections done. And I'm shocked to hear there's some inspections that aren't getting done, but and that was the most important thing. So that's what we put our emphasis on. Now we have to look at how the fire marshal's office is being run and be a better administrator of that. And that's what we're working on.
My other comment was vehicles. Why do they need so many vehicles? We have deputy chiefs that are out there every day of the week. Running around in 100,000 miles cars. And they're on the line every day. And we don't take care of them, but we give him brand new cars.
Well,
Something wrong with that.
well, the fire marshal's vehicle that was bought
Was a
to
truck.
replace was his truck.
Yeah,
That was the replacement for the car that was due to come out of service anyway.
right.
So at the time that the fire marshal that was in that position, he felt a pickup truck would be best suited for that department.
Especially
So-
for investigation.
Right, so that's what the commission decided on, that's what we bought, a pickup truck. So they do have the pickup truck, and the fire marshal does have a take-home car, and the assistant fire marshal has his take-home car. The reason why is because they're on call. So they are allowed, and historically, the fire marshal has always had a car along with the fire chief because they are on call. That has been like that for years.
And I think you ought to look at how many times it's been called out from the work.
They do get called out pretty
Yeah.
often. Well, it depends who's on call at the time. If the individual does not have a take-home car, if they're on call, they are allowed to take the pickup truck so they can respond from their home with the pickup truck, and that has all the fire investigation stuff in it.
You're talking in circles here because the pickup truck was supposed to be the fire marshal.
Correct, and he decided that he wants to
He
keep the,
decided. How about the three of these?
we felt that if they wanted to add that truck as the investigation truck and use it in a fleet, then that was gonna be all right. And the assistant fire marshal, also who is on call, gets a take-home vehicle.
So we had two fire marshals on call.
No, there's only one on call at a time. And weekends are different.
So. I'm very confused on why we have three vehicles sitting at the fire marshal's office.
And they also need it for the, and yes, on paper, we have 8 inspectors slash investigators. Not everyone's an investigator, which does fires. Inspectors do all the inspecting, i.e. going around doing all the inspecting of the establishments. But four or 5 of them are per diem, so it really doesn't cost us any money per se, any benefits. They're just using money that's left from the part-time fire marshals that instead of doing 22, 23, 20, how many hours a week was it, Bobby? 25, I guess.
Sorry.
And they just use the money that's left over from those guys. So they really don't cost us anything. They're just using money that's already in the budget.
Well, in a way, they are costing us money because the fire marshal's not doing his job. My opinion, as a taxpayer in this town. I have a right to say that.
And we will look into that.
You would.
We can definitely look into it.
On me, because I understand he put in for another vehicle into the budget for the EOC.
Which we have no control
We have
over.
no control.
Okay, but you do have control over talking to the town manager and saying,
We can't dictate what happens in the emergency
Yeah,
management
you
and the
talk.
town.
We can talk to him. That doesn't mean he'll listen.
I understand that. I
Yeah.
understand that, but because I know what he's looking for, and he's gonna use that instead of the pickup. And
We can look into it and we can have discussions with the fire marshal.
the other thing is, as long as we're talking on the EOC. Seems how we had all these windstorms and everything. I never heard anything about from him But yet I seen it from the fire department. About wind advisories, what to do and what not to do. Who's
We-
the EOC, the fire marshal?
The
Or-
fire marshal is the emergency management
Okay,
director.
then why isn't he putting out things?
We have no.
We have no control
Yeah,
over.
you
We do not have any control. That is controlled by the town
It's a position
Well,
manager.
I'd be yelling hard, real loud.
That is controlled by the town manager, which does not come through us.
And believe me, we were not happy when the town manager appointed him. Emergency management. director.
That is a sole appointment by the town manager. It doesn't come from the fire department or this commission whatsoever.
And we are looking to convince the town manager that he should change that.
Actually,
You need
one note on that, the emergency management director per state charter is appointed by the local emergency planning committee, which the chair of the local emergency planning committee can be your first selectman and or public safety director.
Which is the town
Local-
manager.
Which is
But
the
the
town
local
manager.
emergency planning committee makes a suggestion for the emergency manager per state charter.
The town manager, the way that this town is written, is the head of the
Yep.
emergency management in this town. And his decision's his decision, and doesn't fall under the commission whatsoever.
Chief, believe me. We hear everything. But our hands are tied.
And you have to
Not-
join
not-
together the three
Not,
of
not,
you.
I'm tired.
not completely tied,
No,
but
but-
when it comes to emergency management, we're,
No, you're not, because you got people sitting out here who'll back you up 100%.
Well, we appreciate that.
Yeah.
Because it's come that time to stand up. And start barking.
We will do what we can to do. Best thing is, if you feel that the emergency is to let the town manager know, and we can also let him know also from.
And you had highway garage, the highway people out on the roads, you had deputy chiefs out on the road. We didn't hear anything about EOC. Or anything from the emergency management people.
You're right. And like I
Well, yeah,
said, chief,
chiefs-
if that was up to us, I'm sure our chief in this commission would have taken care of it.
They did,
But we have, as far as calling an actual emergency and opening the emergency operations center, that is not done by
Nobody
this
asked
commission.
they asked to put out bulletins on what's going on.
We have no control of that, chief.
That man right over there put them out, he puts them out all
He
the
put them
time.
out for the firefight, for the fire department.
Absolutely, it
Yeah.
should be coming from the emergency management.
Can't disagree with you.
as far as Patty's request, after the meeting, can you tell us those locations that haven't been inspected?
And we will, what we can do is we'll give you well, I'm sure you already have the number to the fire marshal's office. Ask for a written request. And if nothing happens, what we can.
She says she's done that, so
So what we might be able to do is get our state rep Gary Turco involved and get the state fire marshal involved with that to grant what you're looking for. I think that would probably be the best bet, to get the state fire marshal involved with it, and
well,
because he directly works more or less for the state fire
I
marshal.
think we have to
oversees-
look at the complexes and we have to talk to the fire marshal and find out why he hasn't
Right.
responded to this, and then what you're saying would be the next step
Right,
after that.
right. So we will definitely follow up with you and make sure that you are made whole.
You can't pass the buck. You guys have a job to do. You
And,
have a resident.
and we will
coming
make
here.
sure that she gets the information she's looking for.
You gotta start looking at the fire marshal and see what he's not doing or what he is doing.
It's on our agenda, chief.
You got me barking.
Well,
I'm wound up today.
Settle down, would you?
Feel good.
I
We-
know Paul for just, I didn't have a follow-up question. I add an adjective into it, like something like a added.
Go
This
ahead.
is public participation.
It still is okay. On the vehicle thing, the other night at the town hall, I was there, I noticed there's been a long period of the silver Ford F-350 parks next to the fire marshal investigation truck. I've noticed day to day that truck disappears, goes out, ends up at restaurants. The vehicle's not marked. Do you have any insight what the vehicle is?
I have no, was,
Driven by fire marshal staff.
okay, if it is a town fleet vehicle, it's a town fleet vehicle,
It is.
doesn't fall under our preview and we can't mandate them
Driven
to
by
mark.
staff.
But
no,
we
no,
can't
we-
mandate them to mark it if it's unmarked. It's unmarked, like you
It's
said.
unmarked, license plate 1790, and per your memo, you said any vehicle driven by the fire department needs to be marked.
Okay,
It's a
so we
regulated
will,
marking, as
we will
Chief
make,
Regina and Chief Lapierre can explain.
we will
Your
make
vehicles are
sure that
marked.
the fire department, fire marshals drive marked vehicles. We did not know that that was being used in the fire marshal's office.
Another vehicle.
To go to Jim's comment, Chief Regina's car is a 2014, Chief Lapierre's is 2010. Chief Regina's floor plan in his car is rotting out, but that's a brand new pickup truck. So how does that make sense?
And we are trying the best we can to upgrade our fleet. I know when the chief comes in, the chief's new car comes in, that his car is gonna be bumped down into the deputy chief's, assistant chief's fleet. And we're trying to do the best we can to upgrade those cars. Yeah. If you guys remember, up until about 5-6 years ago, we didn't have any cars for our chiefs. Because they were taken away by a town manager many, many years ago. I think that might have happened under, when you were commissioner, right? They took all the cars away. And the department just let them take them away. So, we have gotten our chief's cars back, which have been an absolute huge asset. And hopefully, yes, they're old police cars. I know our guys treat them very well with kick gloves to keep them running. They're older, I get it. And we're trying the best we can with the resources that we have to upgrade our fleet. So,
Just want to bring it to your attention.
thank you. But if it's a fleet vehicle, we can't mandate what markings or anything around that.
Per your memorandum.
The only thing,
Well, that's not necessarily true. If it's being used by the fire
we
marshal's
can
office.
mandate the fire marshals to use a marked fire department
Per the
car.
memo that Gallagher, as the commissioner wrote, any
Right.
vehicle driven by fire department staff, fire marshal staff will be marked.
Correct.
Per
But if they take a fleet vehicle, if they need
Per
an,
Chief Chapman, all fleet vehicles should be marked in the town of Newington with a
but
badge.
that
on.
doesn't fall under us. We don't have control of that vehicle, that, we don't have control of that. We only have control of the fire department vehicles.
And Keith Chapman and a commissioner's gone.
Yeah, I know.
So we will make sure that anytime
Why
we,
is he,
That's enough out of you, buddy.
no, why is he using an
They-
unmarked vehicle?
I don't know.
we don't know. They could have a vehicle in for maintenance, they could have a vehicle down and they're using a fleet vehicle, so,
You just said there's a pickup truck sitting right next door to it.
right, that they're using. Why they're using it, I don't know. I couldn't tell you why they're using it.
But we'll find out.
We'll look
where
into
it's
it.
Yeah, find out.
Tractor's device.
I'll make a note, fire marshal. Thank you. Communications,
Communications, monthly reports. And I have, the following reports, this month from, Chief Farmer. And under Chief Farmer's monthly report, I just wanted to, point out on the last page on total calls. It was a busy month, February, 68 calls, and year to date, we're at 637. Chief's activities, I know that this was a very busy month for the command staff, and I'm just not gonna sit here and read all of the items that you guys deal with on a daily basis. training report from Deputy Chief, Regina. I spoke to him earlier because there was one little major typo. I understand that we have, 4 individuals that, completed the, incident safety officer program, Deputy Chief Stegmeyer, Captain Rosemont.
Chief Trauma.
Chief, no, Lieutenant Palazzi and Lieutenant Marchado. I guess they're just waiting for their test results, or they haven't
They
taken
have
it.
to take it.
They haven't taken
For
it.
some reason, the state classes don't include them anymore. They have to do it separate.
Doing on their own.
Okay, all right. And I understand that, starting April 1st, we are, sponsoring a fire officer 1 class here from, April 1st to, June 11th. So,
No, it's not the first. Did I put the first again?
yes, you did.
19th.
The 19th of April?
Thank you.
Okay,
Well, 5 documents I've done that.
not a problem.
Before you move on, Frank,
Yeah.
Chief, I find this pretty interesting. There looks like a couple of big drills coming up. One, Hartford Healthcare Center.
We're planning a few larger scale drills, multi-agency. We've started conversations. One of them, we did one with Rocky Hill with that same agency from Hartford Hospital. It's their nurses and such, they're coming through their program, students.
Okay.
So we're gonna do a mass casualty. I offered while we were there to do one here, so we're gonna do, we believe we're planning is a school bus accident with a car with extrication. Newington will do the extrication.
Yeah.
Newington PD will do their job. The
That's
EMS
cool.
will do theirs. Will involve other agents like town might have to come in.
Right.
EMS will be involved. You know, we'll go through all that.
Was there a time frame that you were looking?
I think I have a date on that if you look on that. Hopefully it's not the first because.
No.
I think it's the 12th.
No date.
Okay, it's April 12th.
April 12th.
That's when it's happening?
Yeah, that's what we're shooting for right now. That was the date that
That's
everybody
cool.
could do it on. We met with the PD on that. The other one is with
The railroad?
the railroad. So Ryan Dean and I had discussed this early on. And Captain Anderson and our coordinator Cassidy met with PD to start this discussion on it. We'll either do a tabletop or we're gonna try to find, what we do years ago with the siding in the car and all that.
That was a
Plus,
big
we
deal in
killed all our
1970, 1979, 1980. Remember off New Britain Avenue?
Yeah, so we're gonna do something, so we've got a couple spots. We were trying to look for a landing zone.
Time frame on that?
Hmm?
Time
Don't
frame?
know yet. We're still working on
Nothing,
it.
summertime possibly. That's cool.
Awesome,
Thank you.
awesome. We get back to,
Now, just if I can, I make one comment about one thing that we are doing a lot more now are our pre-plans. And the thing they did on Monday, that we had 5 of them done. And on Tuesday, if you look behind the board, that's the first time I've seen it, is those are their notes. They all got together afterwards and went over all the plans.
Well,
And some things that they addressed during the discussion.
I saw the last one on the list, on your list from, the walkthrough for, Tilcon.
That's for confined space.
Yeah.
We're busy, there's no doubt.
No, absolutely. I was looking at, obviously, looking at the, manpower hours, number of attendees. Every time that I look at this and the number just like is just amazing. 376 attended drills during the month of February. That's just unbelievable, and almost 800 hours. So, obviously, training division and the command staff is doing a hell of a bang up job. Thank you. Buildings and apparatus division monthly report from, Deputy Chief Gene Santi. Still, I wish he was here tonight because I would like to find out, when I know that he wants to institute, I've heard, doing inspections of the firehouses on a quarterly basis. I would like to see that,
he asked me tonight. He had
he did.
previous engagements, so I knew he wasn't coming, so
Okay.
I knew he was
because
gonna.
I would like to be able to do at least one inspection, of one of those drills or one of the inspections?
He's looking at starting April,
In
so,
April, okay, all right. And, last but not least, I have, Fire Marshal's Office monthly report. And, I know that, according to the way this is laid out, with all of the individuals that he has on his staff, they've done a total of 96 total inspections, and he has finally given us a breakdown of the completion rate and inspection progress. And he also has included his monthly ledger, which is one of the things that we have been after him for. So he is finally starting to get the message that we mean business. And if you take a look at some of the things that they're working on, myself and Brian talked about this earlier when I was reviewing it. Not to say that, you know, there's always room for improvement, but what he has finally submitted to the commission certainly speaks volumes. So I think, you know, we're going to be looking at doing some rules and procedures for the fire marshal's office to follow, either going to be on a weekly basis or going to be, besides the monthly report, we're going to be looking at doing some sort of a weekly report because of a lot of the feedback that we have received. So it hasn't fallen on deaf ears, I can tell you
You want
that.
to get a copy of that?
yes, if I can make you copy,
Absolutely.
you can have a copy of anything that's in this file.
Fine.
It's all public information.
Yep.
Absolutely.
That is, that's
Sherry,
it
do you
for-
have the whole packet upstairs? Do you have another whole packet? So, Chief, there's no counselors here today. You want to grab that, Crystal? And you can have that, Chief.
Thanks.
Yeah, we just saved you some work, Sherry.
That
Thanks,
is,
Jerry.
that's my report completion.
I just like to highlight one thing. Oh no, that's further on down. I think that's
So I'll make a motion, we approve the monthly reports as presented.
And I will second.
yes, thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. All right. That was next.
Now, if I possibly could.
You gotta wait till,
Thank these two guys right here, the excellent job that they've done in this department and bringing it to the 21st century.
bring it up under public participation, Chief.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're talking.
Thank you, Chief. Safety Division promotion, I take this position to heart because, this used to be my old position. And I absolutely wish Pete Sweeney the best of luck. It is, congratulate him for getting the captain of the safety job, Brian Martin Check as lieutenant and Eddie Patz as lieutenant. I wish them the absolute best. It's the guy that the department seems to hate the worst. We get it, because you're the safety guy. Pete, best of luck. You got a big job to do, and I wish you the best. And if there's anything that this commission can do to help you along, through the chain of command, we're absolutely there for you. But, congratulations to those three outstanding individuals and good luck. Ledger status.
I have reviewed the ledger status and found it to be in compliant with where we should be at this time of the year.
And just for a further note, we have both ledger status for the fire and fire marshals this month.
Yep.
Okay.
So I'll make a motion, we approve both.
I will
All in
second.
favor? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Old business. So in your packet in the back, there's this for the space needs for company 3 and company 4. Along, that's ongoing. we, did action where we appointed 3 individuals from the department to the new committee. One of the members has asked to, do the work and everything is just way too busy and it's conflicting with stuff. So, we're gonna need to add another individual to the committee. And it would be, somebody with a Republican side of, so if there's anybody that's a Republican that would love to be on the committee, I hate putting politics involved in this, but that's the way it has to be. I think an individual is an individual, and when we're building a building an R or a D doesn't matter, but we have to follow the rules, and a Republican will be appointed. So, what would you like to do, commissioners? I know there is one individual that's a Republican that
I think we have to
we
put it out there
Yeah.
and
We'll
look for
post it.
individuals that want to be on.
We'll come up with the best candidate, and if we have to do a special meeting to appoint them, we will. If not, we'll just do it at our next monthly meeting. Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
And on that note, I'd like to point out that I thought it was interesting that the Democrats appointed a Republican to the committee on their side. They appointed Chip Stam, who is a registered Republican.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah,
And the Democrats appointed him on their side.
yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, wow, I didn't know that.
yeah. Well,
Oh, that's
I
awesome.
did at the time, and that's one of the reasons I went up and asked the registrar, isn't Chip still a Republican? She said, absolutely, but
Wow.
they can appoint.
Very
whoever they
good.
want.
Very good. In your packet, also under the space needs, I did some research and I came up with a few things. So there's some there's Board of Fire Commissioners meeting July 13th in 1977. I'll read it quick. This is about Station 2. It's not about Station 3. Still in the works of digging up for Station 3. The Board of Fire Commissioners has directed me to inform you and the members of the Town Council that the former Company 2 firehouse on Maple Hill Avenue is no longer needed as a fire facility, and the Board of Fire Commissioners, as of this date, transfer this building back to the town of Newington. Please be advised, however, that the siren controls, which I thought was pretty funny, both Old Company 2 and Company 3 are still located in these facilities, and therefore we would request some type of accessibility to those buildings should problems arise. Respectfully submitted, John Govich, Chairman. We haven't found anything yet on the turnover of Station 3.
The old Station
Old
3.
Station 3
Chapman
on
Street.
Chapman Street, correct. So,
Or Willard Avenue Extension, as it was.
Yep. oh, is that really what it was before? Oh, wow.
Chapman Street started at the bend.
Also, in your packet, I have this was August 25th, 2020. It seems like yesterday we got this letter, Commissioner.
Town attorney's opinion.
It's the town attorney's opinion on who's responsible for the fire chief, the deputy fire chiefs, and the fire marshal. And it clearly states in this document that the Board of Fire Commissioners is responsible for those individuals. So, and Chief, you have a copy of that in yours too. And the other thing in here is a copy of our town charter. That's in the town charter, our act from the state legislature, so. So as far as space needs go for Company 3 and 4, we'll be looking to put another new person on there, and I know an update on that the town council did appoint 3 individuals at Tuesday's meeting to that committee. Fire Department pension review, that's ongoing. ISO update, nothing yet. Nothing to report. Firehouse inspections, I did speak with Car 5 today on the firehouse inspections, and we're looking at a date within the next few weeks. If not, we will be doing that in April when they do their inspections. Roof prop.
Pour for the prop is going to be done at 7 a.m. tomorrow,
Oh, wow.
and we will be waiting for end of April, beginning of May for the prop to come in.
Excellent. Concrete will be cured for when that comes in, ready to bolt up and all ready to go. Oh, great. Excellent. Chief's evaluations, I'd like to, get that done within the next few weeks. I have to go to Florida tomorrow, so, the next week and a half or so, we're gonna be out for me. I have to go down for my mom. So when I get back, we'll, schedule to have the chief schedule the chief's evaluations. I did receive all of them. Thank you, chiefs. I have reviewed them all. So we'll review them with you on, within the, before the next commissioners meeting. Appointments of company captains and lieutenants, that posting went out. Just so that everybody knows about that posting was copied and pasted directly from the rules and regulations. There was absolutely no changes to that. That wasn't in the rules and regulations. So, that committee in 2022, when that was adopted, there was a committee put together to review it and come up that we did all agree and adopted it, this commission. Right, it was all three of us. And so that was copied and pasted, and that's what we're going with. We cannot deviate from our rules and regulations on the posting of the company captains and lieutenants.
We are gonna deviate one thing, though. We are gonna wait for the results of the fire officer one exam before we make appointments.
I think that's a great idea because, like we stated in the beginning of the meeting, there is a fire officer one class that a bunch of individuals that put in for it will be in. So I think that's a great idea, Commissioner, that, anybody that's in a company will just hold off on that specific company or companies until.
Well, what we'll do is we'll make the appointments as of July 1st, but they may not happen until July 5th or
Correct.
something like that.
Correct. Yeah, we're gonna wait till we get the scores back and see that the people pass. So I think that's a smart thing to do. And maybe just delayed a couple weeks. It's a good idea. All right, that's it for old business. New business. Maintenance control of the Newington volunteer firehouses. I did put a copy of our charter in here and I will read it. That pertains to the maintenance and control of the firehouses. This is, act providing the Board of Fire Commissioners for the town of Newington, and this was in, 1929, House Bill number 912. There should be a town of Newington Fire Department, which shall be under the management and control of the Board of 3 Fire Commissioners, to be appointed herein and provided. It shall consist of fire chiefs and others. I'm trying to get to the point where it talks about control. Said Board of Fire Commissioners shall have the supervision and care of all fire department buildings and fire department equipment of said department. Shall recommend the purchase of additional apparatus and equipment whenever needed. Shall purchase additional apparatus and equipment, however voted on by the town, and shall annually prepare and submit to the Board of Finance town budget. So it clearly states that this board is in charge of all of the fire department buildings and apparatus. So I just wanted to make sure that was clear. And it's solely stated in our charter. Budgets, so the budget was submitted to the town manager and the town manager submitted the budget to the town council on Tuesday night. There was a substantial item that we put in that this commission feels is very well needed in this town, and that is for a paid fire chief. We did not get to speak much about it. I did go back and speak under public participation at the end of the meeting. stating that we feel this is crucial to the development and the safety of not only our firefighters, but to all of our residents and visitors in this town. This town has gotten too large to have somebody that is not solely committed to running the fire department's everyday needs. That's where I stand on it. And I know the other two gentlemen next to me are all in favor of a paid fire chief for this department. We are united on it. There's nobody here that does not want this position. And we will do what we can. Tuesday night was the first of many meetings to come. This doesn't get approved till the end of April. So we have plenty of time to fight and to get this put back in the budget. But there is one thing I want to say. We can fight for it, but at the end of the day, the problem is we don't hold the purse strings in this town. So we can fight for it and they can tell us no, we can fight for it, we can fight for it, and we can fight for it. But we need also our firefighters and our residents to help fight for us also. We feel the town of Newington people elect us and to do what they think is right for the fire department. And we need to do right by the town of Newington's town people and have a paid fire chief. It's just gotten too big. There's too many buildings. There's statistics that a daytime population in this town is 80 to 100,000 people. God forbid something happens to a firefighter in this town. Our chief needs to be here. We can't be calling a chief from wherever that person may be coming into town during a day to deal with a situation that might happen. We need somebody that's sole dedication is the responsibility of this fire department. So that is our position. And commissioners, would you like
We
to speak
concur.
on that? Would you
We
like to?
concur.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Chief, I'm so glad you came today. Could you,
I am too.
could you please, well,
No, he doesn't have.
he doesn't have to stand because I know you got the game. For the individuals in this room that don't know, back in August, September timeframe, we submitted the name of Chief James H. Trommer to,
It's not Herman, is it?
yes, it's Herman. It's Herman. I always said J until I was reminded it was H, so.
Well, I know it's Herman because I knew Herman very well.
So I am happy to announce that the training tower at the training grounds on Milk Lane, the town's naming committee has granted the naming. It's going to be called the Chief James H. Trommer Training Facility. In honor of our past chief, Jimmy Trommer. You did a lot for that. You've done a lot for the department, and we couldn't be more excited to name that. We're going to, we'll have a little horse and pony show for you when it warms up. We're going to get the sign up on the building for you, and we'll have some, I don't know, should we do hot dogs and hamburgers, or can we do something cheaper?
Well, I don't think we can do something cheaper, but we'll try to keep the sign from not burning.
Yeah, well, I got pictures of the old sign burning when the police burned the building down. When they called us and said the training tower was on fire, we're like, yeah, usually it is on fire, but this time it was really on fire.
Probably.
So, Chief, congratulations. And, Chief. Oh, I thought you were gonna give me pictures of the building on fire. Very nice.
5 different types.
Okay, and we'll sit down amongst us. And we're gonna leave him out of this one though. He doesn't get a say.
No, he doesn't get a say.
He don't get a say this time. So congratulations, chief. Well
Letters about
deserved.
this big?
No, just, yeah,
You just have a couple words to say, and that was
Merry Christmas.
what I tried to say before, and you cut me off. The two deputies over here doing their job and doing a fantastic job. And I am so glad that one of them is making the sign for the.
well, you don't know that yet.
Because I know if you did,
It'd be about this big, but it's spelled wrong.
James J. Tromper.
J. Trowell. Thank you, chief. You
my,
worked your butt off and you deserve it.
I have just lost.
You're still
my words.
working.
When I stood up in front of the town council, I was lost for words. And it's a big honor for me, my family. And I know my father,
I know your father too.
you know what he's saying right now,
Well deserved, chief.
He's very pleased.
couldn't be more happy for the Trommer family.
And I hate to say, it, your mother would be pleased too.
Yes, you would.
Thank you,
My
chief.
wife. Yeah, okay, go to the firehouse.
Thanks, chief.
Thank you.
Rules and regulations for PMP, we're gonna look into that. There's maybe some tweaking we need to do with that. For the PMP, if anybody,
What he's trying to say is we're gonna put the PMP back into the rules and regs. And we're gonna look at, what needs to be done
right,
for,
because there's some things in there that we don't do anymore, like host testing and stuff, so otherwise, we're gonna concentrate more. I think you wanted to concentrate more on calls and training. Calls, training, pre-plans, so, all right. One second there, we'll go in the public. Discussion to sponsor Austin Muir for fire investigation school. So Austin Muir is part of the fire marshal's office. He only has, inspector right now. So, I'd like to make a motion to sponsor Austin Muir for the investigator portion of it to make
I'll
him.
make the motion.
Okay, go ahead, make the motion.
I'll make a motion, we sponsor Austin Muir for the investigator program.
And I will second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Very good, thank you. So I will get a letter out to Austin to sponsor him for the next investigator class. Now there's a discussion on Emma Sweeney. She would like to shadow the fire marshal's office to see if it's something that she would like to do as a career. I think it's great that our young people in this department, want to do something like that. Gentlemen, do you have any?
I'll make a motion, we sponsor Emma Sweeney for the intern, as an intern for the fire marshal.
And
Okay.
I will second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And that brings us down to the last thing of new business, fire marshal rules and regulations and procedures. I think that this commission should put together something, so over the next month, we can, bring different things, bring up some things and bring it to next month's meeting. We can investigate some different types of rules and regulations for the fire marshal's office. And bring it to next month's meeting and vote on it
And start to put them in place.
and start to put them in place. What do you think?
Yes,
Absolutely, absolutely.
All right, but, till that happens, it already is in our rules and regulations that the fire marshal's office does have marked cars. So, I will let DJ know that any fire investigator, I can't say marshal because they're the inspection guys.
Investigator or inspector.
If they go to a fire, it would be an investigator or an inspection, yeah. That they use a marked vehicle, We are, we've always been transparent about that all our vehicles are marked. Our deputies are all marked, and there's no reason that the fire marshals can't go to do an inspection or an investigation in an unmarked vehicle. And I will make sure a letter gets over to them stating such that they will, the reason why is you're gonna pull up to a business and you say you pull up in whatever it may be, a purple Pinto. And you may be dressed the part, but you're pulling up in an unmarked vehicle that really doesn't state where you're coming from. And I know this commission is very transparent, and we try to play by the rules and by the book. And we won't put up with anything that goes out unmarked, so. I will make sure, that a letter gets out to them. Okay, commissioners?
Okay.
Please online.
Oh, okay,
It's okay, we'll put it in writing.
we'll put it in writing. And that's it for new business. And that moves us to public participation for the second time. Anybody from the, not, you already had your turn, you go, hold on a minute. Johnny, go ahead.
John Montano, Main Street. A few things. I was on the last two rules and regs committees. And when we came to the PMP, we had it listed for the PMP, but then we had addendum for the points. And we did that, so if you had to check the points, you wouldn't have to open up the rules and regs.
Okay,
So just look into that.
okay, we will, thank you.
Is, it's good to see the commissioner, mention people going for classes. What I want to know is how many people applied for a chief's job that did not have Officer 1. And I would like you to open up the rules and regs to state there shouldn't be any changes to anything, especially the chiefs. It's been at least 2 decades. The chief needed, or deputy, Officer 1. There's no reason to ever open that up to say, well, I think we need to not let them have Officer 1, but they have to get it, like you did the last.
That's in the rules and regulations.
It's in the rules.
It's in the rules and
You
regulations.
changed it to put someone in that didn't have Officer 1, but they can go for it. I would like to see something that says, you can't change this anymore.
The commission, can change the rules and regulations.
But you just came up, we're not gonna change the rules and regs for officers.
We're,
Got with, why didn't you just do that with the chiefs?
Chief Stegmeyer,
So with the officer thing, we had to change it a little bit because we're not getting the applicants for officers. Because we need officers in the department one way or another. So that's why,
But again, it's been 2 decades at least to have Officer 1 be a chief, right? Did anybody apply that didn't have it and not go for this class since then?
I don't believe so. No.
all the chief officers have officer 1.
The last posting of deputy chief, everybody had,
So when you opened it up to say you didn't have to have it, but you can get it, no one applied that didn't have it.
nobody applied that did not have it, correct?
Correct.
Everybody that applied had,
So I just hope that the next time you open it up, you don't say, oh, they don't need it, but they can get it.
whatever is in the rules and regulations will be posted.
Again, you can change that because you did.
No, because I'm gonna tell you something, John.
Well, you brought it up saying you.
Yeah,
voted on it,
so
change it.
when the last deputy chief's posting, there was a mistake in the posting. It was posted, there was a mistake in the posting, it came down, and then it was reposted exactly as the rules and regs stated it.
Like you bring it up in the meeting, that you had to take a vote once and then again to have someone apply that doesn't have it, but they can get it. Am I out of my mind and didn't just imagine all that?
Whatever the committee came up with and put the vote was to approve the whole package of rules and
When
regulations.
you put, all right, forget it. The last thing is with the paid fire chief, the commission is in charge of the budget for the fire department.
Correct.
Can you put in your budget the monies for a paid chief?
We did.
We did.
Oh,
We
okay.
did.
That's what I wanted.
We did put in for it and the town manager cut it.
But
Yes, we did put in for it.
So that's why we're petitioning the town council because they can override what he's.
You never actually said, you said you were going for it, but I said, just put it in.
No, we did put in for
We
it.
did.
We did. And the town manager cut it. You're welcome. Yes.
When is the next meeting for this?
Okay, so our meetings for the commission,
What we were just talking about, the paid chief to debate it, you said there's only plenty.
I believe the,
Actually, Saturday is the next town council meeting to review.
for
budget.
CIP,
Yeah, I did.
for CIP, this, no, this won't be brought up then. That's, CIP in
As a
different,
member of the public,
you can say
there'll be
whatever.
public
Yep,
participation. So you could go to that meeting and express your opinion on it.
Correct.
Are
So,
they gonna be privy to everything that goes on in this department, who does it, how it's done, how these guys work around the clock, so they know transparent on just what's been done here and how they work this?
they know a lot of that, but we don't know how much they actually take it all in.
Well, that's a problem.
We've invited Chief Regina numerous times. Has invited them to our training props, our training. They've been invited to a lot of our training. They've gone to our live burns. Some have come, some have not. Most have. We usually have two liaisons. There is a Democrat and a Republican liaison, Kim Murata and Tim Mankey are our liaisons. Usually they're here. Unfortunately, they're not here tonight. But they're supposed to take what they hear here and bring it back to the council. If they don't, we go under public participation and try to say what we can in 4 minutes, unless we're invited in by them for a specific reason. But the other, you got your calendar? I can tell you when.
Yeah.
So there is one this Saturday that's doing CIP and I think library and some other departments that they didn't get Tuesday, which you are more than welcome to go and talk at.
Right.
But I think the next meeting will be the last Tuesday of the month. Is it the last Tuesday, Frank?
I believe
Yeah.
so. Yeah.
The last
They may
Tuesday in
have-
March will
they
be a
may-
regular council meeting. This,
Right, they may have something in between.
I don't think so. I don't remember seeing.
So that's
I can let
March
you,
25th would be
March
the next
25th.
regular meeting.
will be the next town council meeting, March 25th,
This we talked about more than likely at that time.
most likely. And that has public participation. It's close to the beginning. It's not right at the beginning of the meeting. But you are more than welcome to go and state anything you want there at a public meeting. Anybody in this room can do it. So that'll be the 25th. I'm pretty sure it's the 25th.
Yeah.
And that starts at 7 PM. Town hall, town council.
Council chambers.
Chief,
I just noticed in your packet here, that letter from the attorney. You got teeth,
Well, we know.
we know.
and it's about time you start fighting back.
The problem is,
There's no problem.
we don't hold the purse strings, no matter
Oh,
what kind of,
yes, you do.
no, we don't.
You got 140 guys
Well-
standing behind you that would stand up.
It's quite a political body.
This is
And
one of
it's
the
a voting
biggest.
body.
Oh, believe me, that's not beyond, our thinking. When the time comes, we've already discussed this. We're
But
gonna
as far-
put that out to the department, and we expect to have that kind of turnout
Yeah,
if we get
it's happened
any more
before.
grief from the town council and or the town manager. I don't discount any of that, Jim, not one bit, because we know there are strength in numbers. And if we end up with a room full of 50, 60, 70 guys, the town council is certainly gonna take notice very
Absolutely.
quickly.
Absolutely. The other thing is being pushed around and taking control of the firehouses from you guys. That's a no-no,
So,
and don't let them do it.
We're
And
not.
it's not.
we're not.
Not
And that's why these were put in here, chief.
There's two people in there that are pushing and pushing, and it's time you push back.
And we are. We are, chief.
Because once they get their teeth in you, there ain't no stopping.
It's not gonna happen.
Fire marshal is number one, you're in charge of.
Correct.
And don't let them say the town manager,
And that's in black and white.
absolutely.
Thank you, chief.
And one other thing is those two guys right down there, oh, that guy in the back there too, I guess.
Nobody behind you, Chief Stegmeyer.
Command staff that you have in place right now is next to none. They could not be replaced. They're those two guys right here, and that guy over there, I never hear about him, but.
Are you trying to say,
Fantastic,
We totally agree, chief.
are you trying to say they're better than your command staff?
absolutely.
Chief, we talk, and I'm gonna make some comments on our commissioners. We couldn't agree more, chief.
Call my son.
We couldn't agree more, chief. Thank you for the kind words for our command staff. We couldn't agree more.
I think
Thank you.
Nico had a question.
Nico did.
Yes,
So in the town's book of rambling numbers for the town budget, which whoever made that book needs to learn how to use a copier correctly. The first page has an organizational chart. Okay, and I work for the state, and the organizational chart is like king time, that's where you know where everyone works. At the very top, it says the voters of the town of Newington. Below it says the boards. You are at that level of the boards. Same level as the Board of Education, same level as the Commission on Human Rights and whatever.
Absolutely correct.
So why does the town manager, A, talk down to the fire department in a town council meeting, and B, talk like he's your boss, when in relation to that chart, you do not report to him, nor have to answer to him in that fashion other than presenting him a budget?
so you're not the only one that noticed.
Because you should be presenting the budget to the town council directly and not go through the town manager.
Okay, so I'll take this one. This,
I can read.
this commission had full intentions of presenting our budget to the town council. In our charter, that states what we do, and we are doing our job. At the time that it was time for us to come up, the town manager decided, I believe it was because of time constraints, because it was getting late.
It's not our fault, we're at the board of ed talk for 4 hours.
Yeah.
And if the town council doesn't know how to set up a schedule, an agenda,
I
they should
agree.
be,
I agree.
they need to be, correct their agenda. They,
To be,
on a budget night, they never included a presentation like the chief made,
and the Board of Ed.
and the Board of Ed wasn't done on.
Which is,
Yeah.
I'm nothing against it, I'm just asking the question of what happened there, plus the flow chart.
Yeah, we understand.
We totally understand, and I think we tried to be as gentlemanly as possible, because it was a public meeting. And let it go the way that it did, but, that budget is, by no means is it done, by no means is it getting voted on this weekend. And we are going to fight to have that position put in, and we need
So
you
my
people
question-
to help us.
My question to you, Chairman Whalen, is why do you have to present your budget to the town manager in the flow chart? You are above it.
So we present it to the town manager early in January so that the town can compile all the budgets for all the departments. Look at what they're looking at for next year's budget, and then it gets submitted to the town council.
Okay, so if.
Well, I agree with Nico
Oh, I
that,
can, one part
that
question
we-
is, if the town manager is in charge of combining this into one booklet.
Yeah.
With a horrible copier. Why does he dictate what the chiefs of our department, who have the guidance and years of experience to run this place, that go into fires, that know what they're doing, that are in charge of immense amounts of things? Why does he have the ability to say what comes out of your budget? He should put it in a packet and give it to the council, and the council should make that decision. It should not be his protocol, nor his ability to make that judgment call. He is not our
It's
boss.
it's just what's always been done.
Well,
That,
you're right.
that doesn't mean it's right. That doesn't mean it's.
Doesn't
right.
mean it's right, Nico. And what you're saying is absolutely 100% true. The budget that we submit to the town manager should be the budget that is submitted to the town council.
And I have not been in the department as long as many people have, but people can correct me.
But that's the way it's always been done,
But
and
the way that it's always been is not.
it's not, doesn't mean it's the right way. You are correct.
So
We
that's
concur.
where we agree. We concur.
Totally agree.
I think that old man in the back has a question.
Chief Stegmeyer.
It has been noticed by all of our membership, the chiefs and everybody, that the town has given us a lot of pushback in a lot of projects. I don't know who's got something against the fire department, but it's been noticed by everybody. We kind of need to start to push back.
We volunteer our time. The people that sit in that town hall and get Fridays and leave early and all this crap, don't sit out in 10-degree weather or sit out in 100-degree weather after going inside someone's house that caught fire.
Trust me, Nico, we all understand.
But those people need to be put in check.
I just think we need to have a different approach to things.
Nico,
We need to.
settle down.
All right, order.
That's the pot calling the kettle black.
All right, let's not lose sight of the meeting, guys.
Need to provide the chiefs and the commission a united front. A
Yes.
Coordinated.
And we all are a coordinated, united front.
And if,
In the past, though, we started.
if the town council wants, take all the town council, have Austin get a bus, have them come out to every fire call. No, have them come out to every meeting, have them come out to every training session, and have them come around to us and see what we have to do. Because we volunteer our time to make this town a better place.
And Nico, it's funny of one word that you just said, and we have discussed this many times. And it's because of one word that you said that I think happens what happens. And it's because of that word volunteer. And we're not taken seriously.
Yeah, and because we want somebody in charge, we want somebody to be full-time. That's not to dictate the volunteer. We're still volunteers. It's just, it was being done 15 years before the person that's there right now.
So I want to give you some, well, I'll keep going on with public participation, then I'll make some comments in the end pertaining to this.
Okay.
Go ahead, Johnny.
Another thing with the fire marshal's office. Here is a paid person from the fire department, and her hour is just that she's here on your meetings. Can you do that to the fire marshal's office, that his hours reflect the meetings that he has to be here? Why shouldn't he be
Yes,
here?
yes,
Why shouldn't he be here? That's what I'm saying, you know, they should.
Yes.
Hours to be here.
yes.
Why not change his hours so he should be
We,
here?
and that's something that we'll talk about under the policies and procedures of the fire marshals.
Office.
Yeah,
He's here.
and absolutely, we can have him at our meetings.
Now one of his 18 delegates. So they just put on one more, not.
Johnny, I will make a note of that, and thank you. Okay, any other public participation? Chief Stegmeyer,
We had a fantastic, recruitment trip at the library tonight.
recruitment, oh,
Yep.
hold on,
They-
excuse me.
They had a program called Spring into Volunteerism, and they had all the volunteer organizations in town go, and how many people do you think tonight? There was a ton of people there. Yeah, so we handed out at least 10 regular applications.
they had like four that
and
have
8
15.
cadet applications. There were people that were very interested in the. program.
18 people.
Wow.
Yeah, so, and,
Oh, God, that's gonna drive the.
Paper call-up.
That's gonna drive the.
They said the majority of the phone calls that they got were regarding the fire department, that people wanted to make sure the fire department was there and they wanted to come and see us. And we had a lot of interaction.
Wow,
So it was a very good event. They're planning on doing this every year. So I'd like to thank the library for actually
Well,
sponsoring this. It was
thank
a
you
great
and
idea.
your staff for going out and doing it. And you know, there was something that I heard and, I just hope I don't get teary, but it's related to this. That, when we had the tragedy a couple months ago with our good friend Sharkey, that it brought out a lot of good in people where they're like, oh my God, look what this guy sacrificed for the town of Weathersfield. and they say people are coming out, not, I can't say in droves, but more people than not are they're banging down the doors at the firehouse and saying, I want to do what he did.
Yeah, Chief Sherrill said that their public information office is modeled kind of after ours and.
Kind
Of course. He's getting a lot of applicants.
Didn't he copy it right on?
He said we're doing very good in terms of membership now.
Yeah.
I do understand that Weathersfield Fire Department has added 8 new members to
Yes.
the department.
My son was one of them.
Yeah. So the surrounding towns are starting to do very well.
They're still gonna have a long way to go to catch up to us.
Absolutely.
Chief Lapierre.
Just only because, just to bring it up to date, and it was left off the old business, the grants.
Oh,
Obviously.
Oh, okay.
Obviously, the president has shut down all of the programs, so everything there is on hold. I have secured, and I'm working with the chief and Captain Roseman on, yeah, we did get a drone. That's been put in for a couple of years ago. So that should be on its way soon. Don't know
Oh, great.
when. I just put in, Chief Traumer had shot me a text that he saw something where Anheuser-Busch was.
The water, right? Didn't I send it to you?
No, the chief sent it.
Oh, I sent it to the chief. Yeah, canned water.
So that grant has already been put in. So I don't know, I don't know where we'll fare because our population is a little higher than what their max was.
Oh,
Um,
yeah, it's for canned water.
so
Hey, we'll
just
take it.
so it's not locked that,
Great.
I mean, we haven't been able to do anything with Safer because that's all been shut down.
right.
All right.
You know, it doesn't look good, but
Question. We got a grant from, was it Firehouse Subs or
No,
Fire-
what?
yeah,
firehouse subs for the
Firehouse subs.
extrication equipment.
Yeah, okay.
No, firehouse subs.
Firehouse Subs, and because I know that, I believe you just mentioned, I was just gonna say, have we submitted anything to Jersey Mike's? Because I know that they do something.
Yeah, once a month, once a year or something, they donate all proceeds to a volunteer organization.
Maybe it's something you can look
I can
into.
look into it.
You can look into
I
it.
believe
I mean,
that,
if
I
anybody
believe that
finds
Jersey
any-
Mike's does grants.
If anybody sees anything, just shoot me an email and I'll look into them.
Okay. And if, because we did Firehouse Subs,
We can't do it yet
you can't do it
Yeah.
again
For a
for a
while.
while.
for a while.
Okay.
Any other public participation? Going once, twice,
Sold.
sold. Commissioners' remarks. I'll go last.
You always go last.
Well, you want me to go first? I'll go first.
You're long-winded.
So I had a whole thing prepared for Tuesday night and I didn't get to say it. Kind of made me a little upset.
I don't think you were the only one.
I'm very upset. Just because that's how it's always been done, doesn't mean it's the right way to do it. So I spent a lot of time this weekend preparing. So I don't sound like a fool. And I'd be happy to give this to anybody. For our chief. Here's an article in the Hartford Current, February. And it states, LA tragedy points to need for support for local fire service. Right in here, it says, unfortunately, this issue reaches far beyond California, as we are seeing the devastating impacts of staffing shortages all over the country, including Connecticut. Yet there was actually a very valid reason outlined by the fact that the national death rate for single-family and duplex home fires was 38% higher in 2023, so that's recent, than it was in 1980. It goes on to say about the 2 May days that happened at a Southington fire. where they almost lost two firefighters back February. I think it was February. They had the two firefighters go down with a Mayday. And and I'm not gonna read the whole article, but it's in summary, I'm gonna read it, what I think is very interesting. It is much harder to be successful without the right number of people to do the job. The more people to do the job, the quicker it's gonna go out and the safer everybody's gonna go home. And that's what it's about, this department being safe. I have a list here that I compiled. This list is just volunteer fire departments in the state of Connecticut or combination. Now, when I say combination, it's only 1, 2, 3, 4 guys during the day. So it might be combination, but it's still a volunteer department with paid chiefs or paid fire administrators. On here is the population of the town. Newington is 32,000. There's populations on here of 3,000 people in this state with paid fire chiefs. I'll give you a few of them. East Lyme, 18,000 people, paid fire chief. Guilford, 22,000 people, paid fire chief. Colchester, 15,000 people, paid fire chief. Berlin, as Nico mentioned, they now have a paid fire administrator. Griswold, Connecticut, 11,000 people, paid fire chief. I'm going to give you some. Suffield, Connecticut, 15,000 people, paid fire chief.
That's enough. There's a
It's
lot.
long overdue.
Yeah.
And it's truly a need and not a want. It's definitely needed in this town. The reason why? The need so the department chief can focus solely on the fire department's management due to that person's full-time commitment in recruitment, retention of members, personnel matters, training, public and civic organization, and other town departments needing the fire department's support. The chief needs to be able to direct, coordinate, and assist with all department staff for the safety of all department members, town residents, and visitors to this wonderful town. That's what we're committed to. And once again, I'll say it is a need and not a want. And I'd be happy to give anybody this information. And I'm going to leave with one more thing. This right here is the whole state of Connecticut for paid and volunteer fire chiefs that I spent a lot of time working on. Yes, there's big towns in here, East Hartford, Hartford, Enfield. That other one was just volunteer, small combination departments. This is big, and what the price tags are on these. Lastly, the money that we're looking for is very minimal to what it will cost to have a full-time paid fire department in this town. A minimum of $9 million, along with the first year of approximately, I'm not an estimator, I'm just guessing, 20 million to retrofit all the firehouses for sleeping quarters for a full-time paid staff. So we can figure almost 30 million for your first year for a paid fire department, and then 9 to 11 million
A year.
thereafter. So for the little bit that we're looking for a paid fire chief is a bargain, as far as I'm concerned. And with that,
Are you
I
going,
will pass it on to the next commissioner.
I thought you were gonna pull out the $4 again.
Oh, I'm glad you reminded me.
Thanks, Brian.
Hey,
To have a paid fire chief in this town of a population of 32,000 people, it will cost, this is This is good.
It's 33,000, taking so long.
$3.90 per person per year, which works out to 32 cents a month for every person in the town of Newington, per capita is what they call it, to have a paid fire chief. 32 cents a month, $3.90 a year. That's just for his salary. I don't know what a benefit package is, even if if it's 15,000, that adds 50 cents. So we're at $3.30, $4.30 per person. If you ask me, that's a bargain. You can't even get a Starbucks coffee for that, right, chief?
Yeah, you can.
Oh, okay. So for $4 a year,
There was four.
It's worth it.
town Budget, you take out the assistant town manager.
so I put my $4 on the table the other night and said, you don't even have to give me the dime back. So, but that is a true fact. $4 per person per year.
Are you done?
Now I'm done. Thank you.
I echo everything he said, so, but
Really?
I want to do one thing. I want to congratulate Fire Marshal Stegmeyer on his 5 years with the fire marshal.
Yay!
Condolences. Oh, and I do appreciate everybody's input into the meeting tonight. We've got a lot of work to do and we intend to do it. You're next.
Thanks. I'll mirror pretty much everything that these two other gentlemen said. Congratulations to Chief Emeritus Jim Palmer on the naming of the training tower in your honor. Deputy Chief Stegmeyer, congratulations on your 5 years in the fire marshal's office. To the ladies and gentlemen who have taken the fire no, not the fire officer,
Safety.
the safety officer, thank you.
The new safety staff.
And I took it. That's a tough class.
So congratulations all around. I just want to let everybody know that it's been my pleasure to be a part of this fire committee for the last 4 years. I have learned an awful lot from these two gentlemen, from each and every one of the individuals that I deal with in this department on a daily basis. Everything that I have learned, I've learned because of all of you. And I'm telling you now that there's things that I keep locked up here that I'm not gonna let go. And we're gonna fight for everything that we possibly can. So it doesn't fall on deaf ears. And I appreciate the dedication and the hard work that the command staff of this department does, including each and every member of this department. Because without you, we probably wouldn't be here. So congratulations to this department on a job well done on a daily basis. Thank you.
Now, if we can only get that darn ISO rating, then we can really go.
Deputy Chief Regina, let's move it along.
We did everything we can, we just gotta wait for the underwriters.
It's a process.
It's a
Yeah,
process.
yeah.
Motion to adjourn.
Second,
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion
Thank
unanimous.
you all.
Thank you.
You're gonna give me.